Before we get on with the video, I am ecstatic to announce that starting today, I will personally be sponsored by 401 Games. 401 Games has been my main local since I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, so I'm really excited to team up with them. So, if you guys are ever in the market for singles, make sure to use code BEAR10 for 10% off on 401games.ca. The currency is in Canadian, so there's also a good chance that it's even cheaper for you than what it's listed for on the website. Again, that's code BEAR10 for 10% off. Thank you. Alright, so my boy Nic Jung hit me up.
Hey, what's up?
Told me he has a spicy Salamangreat deck profile. So, what's spicy about it?
Basically, I've been playing Salad for a really long time. Basically, since the deck came out, and I've been evolving it to the meta as I go along. And in this current meta, I think I solved it. So this is post-Dragoon.
Post-Dragoon. So your deck doesn't care about Dragoon?
It's easy.
It's easy. Okay. All right, let's see this.
To start off, we play 3 Lady Debug. It came back to 3. It's the best starter. It's also an extender because the effect is also on special summon as well. So that's gonna come up, and I'll explain that later. 2 Flame Buffalo. It's still really powerful. You are playing a high Cybers count in this list, so it's hardly ever going to be dead in your hand with just 1 Cybers in hand. And again, your favorite play is Chainlink 1 Flame Buffalo, Chainlink 2 Phalanx to add the field spell.
MST.
MST!
Bro, it's so windy!
It's all good. You don't lose to Heavy Storm in this either. So you play 3 Parallel Exceed. Shout out to Adrian. These are his. He gave them to me. So that's your non-salad Cybers lineup. And then your salad lineup. I'm playing a very small engine, so it's 1 Gazelle, obviously, only 1 Foxy. The reason is that you're playing so many non-salad cards now, is that the normal summon effect is gonna miss. So it's like missing off area 0 all the time. And the the grave effect to pop a face-up spell, it's good as an extender. It's just not as good as other cards like Exceed, where you could do plus harder, but it is good to have as an option for removal in your grave. And then you play 2 Spinny. Basically, obviously, other than Gazelle, it's the best one because it's basically a free extender. Obviously, it gets banished. That's why you play 2. And you don't play any rank 3s to play around that. But again, you only need the 2. And then you play 1 Jaguar and 1 Falco. So you only play 1 Jaguar because you're not playing Desires in this list. So you really don't want to see it in your opening hand. Basically, all the salad cards are best in the graveyard or in your deck, except for Gazelle, obviously. So that's it for the salad lineup. These are hand traps. So you play 2 Nibiru. Still a very powerful card. A lot of people are cutting it, which actually makes Salad better because that's one of the cards that just kind of blow out Salad in certain scenarios. You still play 2, you side the 3rd. You play 3 Ash because it's a fire, it's Ash, it's reoccurable. You really shouldn't be playing a list with less than 3, especially in Sala. And you play 2 Veiler. The reason why you play Veiler is because you play Fantaz, and Imperm becomes dead off of Fantaz, so you want to be able to have that negation. So you're going to be negating, Halka Firebrax, Union Carrier, and Verte Anaconda. So really, having Imperm over Veiler, it really is irrelevant, and then this just lets you fix your hands and it's an extra body on board. So for the spells, Sanctuary. So it's the brick of the deck, but you have to play it. It also comes up in the end board where its battle phase effect actually does come up. You play Circle. Helps you play around Nibiru and gets you access to any Salad monster, usually Gazelle. 3 Sign of Mining just for consistency. So you're playing only 6 Salad monsters in the main deck, so you only play 1 Will. You could maybe play 2. I would definitely not play 3 in this list, just because it's going to be dead a lot of the times. But to circumvent that, you play Reborn. So basically, you're playing 2 Will, but they're different copies, so they're not. If you have both in your hand, they're not both dead. If that makes sense. And then just one of each of the traps. Again, you're not playing Desires, and basically the whole deck just searches itself. So you only really need to play the 1 copy. I want to bump up Rage to 2, just because it's so powerful. It lets you trade like 2 for 1, and it's reoccurable. It's so good. But I just don't have room. I'm already at 42, I think. So up until now, it was basically a standard salad list. No real spice. These next cards are what the spice are. So
all right, let's see it.
So first two cards you play are microcoder.
Okay.
So basically, it has two effects. One is that you can link summon from your hand if you summon a code talker, so that's like transcode or access code. So it gives you an extender. Also, when it gets link summoned, you even from the hand you can add a signet spell or trap. So you can add signet mining, which is crazy. You can also add signet conflict, which I play. So it's just the second negate. So it's just you're playing two counter traps and the rage. So you just have a lot of disruption. And I feel like this gives you more power going first. Obviously, going second is not as strong because you're playing essentially another dead card or brick. But these are as extenders as themselves because the search is mining. You can just cut this out going second, and it's still a great extender. And then the card that everyone's gonna make fun of is Ibli.
All right, so explain this one.
Okay, so this is basically what I wanted to build the deck around because I read the card and it's so good. Basically, your opponent can't special except for links, and except in the mirror, really like they're gonna have a very hard time to get out this. Obviously, in the mirror they just go Balinks, and it's kind of like very bad because you just give them a free monster. But obviously, you side that out in the mirror, and because Salad is much less prevalent. You're not going to run into the mirror as much, so that's why I play this. It's a good normal summon, and again, the effect to summon it to your opponent's field is as long as it leaves the field, so it doesn't have to be on normal or anything, so that's also very important. And this is just how you kind of secure game ones by doing the I-block, and your opponent, and you set up Rage, so when they do their normal summon, you just pop the normal summon, you leave the Ib on field, and they can't do anything, and normally you would want to crash with the Ibli, but because you have the field spell, you can make whatever the Ibli attack 0, so you can't crash. So then they just pass their turn, and then you just kill them next turn. It's really good, and it stops you from getting nibbed in your combo as well. And then this is the anti-Dragoon card, Super Poly.
Super Poly.
Easiest way to out Dragoon. Dragoon's a fusion, and Verte Anaconda, which is 99% of the time how someone's gonna summon it out, it's a dark. So, I mean, you already know the target, and it's gonna be the Draco Sepelia. This is just like probably the best fusion target. There are other ones like Muddy Mud Dragon that you could play, but I feel like this is just the best. Also, this is like essentially an extra negate or interruption, so it's just very good, and it's a big body. So this is how you out Dragoon. You just super poly it with the Verte, and you just go off after that. Really easy. Also outs Winda as well,
yeah.
which the Dogmatica board also has. Also the Dragma board where they go Makaba, and then when you can get a dark on field, Ibli's a dark as well, so you can kind of just circumvent the Winda because it just needs a fusion and a dark. So
are you playing Violet Chimera too?
The extra deck is really tight.
Yeah.
So I had to basically find the best target, and this is what it was. So this Muddy Mud Dragon and Starving Venom are the 3 targets that I would play if I could play more.
Okay.
But obviously, you just need the one. So I guess we'll go to extra deck.
Sure.
So you already know you're playing the Draco Sepelia. So standard Salad is 3 Balinks. If you run out of Balinks, you can get into trouble because your combo just once it gets rolling, it just kind of naturally flows, but you need Balinks in order to do that. And then 3 Sunlight Wolf. So obviously the ultras are nice too. Obviously it's like the key piece of the deck adds back your Ash or your Gazelle, gets your traps, has the recursion. It's just so powerful. So that's what you play. So something you'll notice about this list is I cut Heat Leo.
You cut Heat Leo.
I cut Heat Leo.
John.
So here's the logic behind cutting Heat Leo is because of you're playing Super Poly and other cards I'll show you as we go along, your extra deck becomes very, very tight. And now with back row, it's really easy to pop with access code. You just pop the back row and then you attack for game. So it doesn't come up as much. I do miss it sometimes, but I try to circumvent that by playing Phoenix. So basically if you do the math, Phoenix takes 2 monsters and a discard, but you can draw. So best case scenario, you're using 2 monsters to out a spell or trap. With Heat Leo, you have to use 3 monsters to to out one. So in that case, Phoenix is a little bit more efficient, but because of the relink and when you play 2, you're outing 2 cards with only three monsters, and then obviously the field spell. So when you look at it that way, Heatleo is better, but just because of how tight the list is, you can't squeeze another Heatleo, so you just play the one Phoenix spot, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you play Code Talker Inverted. So this is another Code Talker monster that you can that you summon into with Microcoder. And it also has a very relevant effect, which says when this is summoned, you can summon to a link pointer it points to. So when you use the microcoder to search either the Silent Mining or the Counter Trap, you can go microcoder chainlink 1, inverter chainlink 2 to summon to one of its zones, because most likely you'll have a Balinx, so you'll summon it here, so both of these zones will be open, and then you get your search off for free, guaranteed, obviously, unless they have Called by the Grave, but that's a different scenario. And the effect to summon from hand, it's very powerful as well, because you can summon your Lady Debugs and get its effect. It doesn't negate the effect or anything, which is very important. Also, you can summon your Buffalo or your Ibly. So if you say you went Buffalo and then you drew into Ibly and you can get into Code Talker, you can summon the Ibly and then lock your opponent out. So you can always do the Ibly lock mid combo, and this just lets the way that the deck works, it just lets you be able to summon it out. Obviously, you need to either open it in your hand or search for it, which again, you have mining, you have debug, so it's very easy to get to, but that's why you play this. It's a key piece. And then you play for the kill, just like this package is so good.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't not play this in Salad.
Access to all day damage is disgusting.
Exactly, like, oh shit, there's a Sunlight Wolf, it's all good. I can go get it. And you do play a lot of attributes. You have fire, obviously. You have light, you have wind, and you have earth. So that's 4 pops. So that's obviously very good. That's why you don't really need Heatleo in this build, because you just use access code to attack for game. So I only play 1 rank 4 for the Parallel Exceed, and that's Dugaris. So one really important thing is that it's a fire. So that's probably the reason why I play this over something like a Dweller or a Baguska, because the way that the deck is built, it's more combo oriented. So you need a easy way to make use of your Parallel Exceeds, and it's kind of a waste to just link a Parallel Exceed into another Balinx, because you're also burning through another Balinx, and it's just like, it's unideal. Whereas with Dugaris, you can use a lot, like you can use its draw effect or its Monster Reborn effect. Again, it doesn't negate the effect. So again, if you pitched like a Lady Debug, or it's from a previous turn, you can summon it, get the search. Same with Buffalo, same with Ibly. So that's why that's the whole kind of idea of the deck. You just kind of combo through, and the Reborn is nice. You could also play Splash Mage for the Reborn, but because Splash Mage negates the effect, it doesn't work on Lady Debug, so that's something to keep in mind. It does work on Buffalo because it resolves Engrave, but that's why I'm playing it. So when you open Exceed and like Lady Debug, say, you can go into Dugaris and draw a card to get more advantage, and then you can link into a Sunlight Wolf because it's a fire. So that's why I play it. And I don't play other rank 4s in the main, just because I feel like it's not needed right now. So that's why this is the best one. The other XCs I play is the Nova, just for the Macabre. This is just for Dragma. It's like
for punishment, right?
For punishment,
or
or
Maximus.
Maximus. Yeah. You just summon this because if this gets sent off, you get to summon this, and it's a free negate. So again, and it puts another body. So it's just very strong. You could not play this package and just play an Intis, and then play the 2 Heatleo and cut the Phoenix. You could do that. I just found this is better just because I value the Macabre more than the Intis pop, if that makes sense. So that's the extra deck, side deck, tokens. So you do sub out the like you have free sub outs if you're not playing against like Dharmatica. This is one that you can do for the Tornado Dragon. You can play other extra deck, side deck cards, but I just play the Tornado. It's also very good in the Eldritch matchup and any like Altergeist matchup. It's a very good card. For going first, you play Order and 2 Summon Limit. Basically, Summon Limit is also Ibly, but it's just like one that you can use against a Salad player because it's
And if your name is Nic Jung, you always open Imperial Order.
Yeah, yeah. This is the same copy. This is the only copy that I'll ever use in my deck just because I always draw it when I need it. It's just the nuts. Common. And then you play 1 Red Reboot, 1 Pankratops. The thing with Pankratops is that because you're summoning it, you're not able to use the transcode Reborn effect. You can still use the effect, like you can still summon it. It's just you can't use the Reborn effect. So that's something to keep in mind. But Pankratops is just such a good card in like a lot of matchups. It's like a body, it's a pop. Like everyone loves Pankratops, right? So I opted to play, even though it does have some confliction, but it's okay. And then 3 Cosmic for removal, obviously. And then you play hand traps. So the 3rd nib, like I said, you play 2 Ghost Ogre. This is more for Numeron. That's probably the main one that you want to put it in. Obviously, it's good in other matchups. And then you play 3 Imperm as well. So you boost up your hand trap lineup going second. So if you have a lot of free side outs, like this, like I said, like this can come out going second. This as well. So that's 3 free cards already. You can cut this out if you're cutting this out. Your style alignment is already very small, so you can't really cut any of the salad. Maybe the second spinny, but I wouldn't want to. And then maybe like 1 debug because you're going second, and Buffalo is much better going second because you have that extra card. Other than that, and again, if they don't link summon, you can take out Fantas. So you have a lot of free side outs that you can kind of rotate around. So it's so it works out very well. Just play these extra hand traps, and then these cards for going first, and then these for the control matchups and everything like that. So that's the deck.
That's it?
That's it, yeah.
All right, Jung, thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed that, let Jung know in the comments. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Bear, signing off. Peace, guys.